Hi guys. Hope y'all are doing good today. Um I'm here to talk about as a subject today the rainbow of relationships. The rainbow of relationships. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for what you're doing, what you're about to do and what you've already done. Lord, relationships are certainly a rainbow, like with all their colors and all their shapes and all their forms, not only the types of relationships, but the um within those types, the kinds of relationships. God, teach us today. Speak to me, speak through me. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Hi, guys. Today I'm talking about the rainbow of relationships. And when I say rainbow of relationships, I mean relationships come in different different forms, uh, different kinds and forms. There are romantic relationships between romantic partners. There are family relationships. There are co-worker relationships. There are pastoral relationships. There are there there are all kinds of relationships. Basically, my definition of a relationship is any two people, um any two beings relating to each other on one level or another. So you can have a relationship between people, which are the most common types of relationships. You can have a relationship between people and animals, which is another kind of relationship. People have relationships with their pets. People, people like me. I'm starting a new relationship with my cell phone. Um, I've never had a cell phone before, so I'm starting to learn it, and I'm starting to learn what to do and what not to do, and where to put it, and how often to charge it, and all of that. Um, because because of my disability, I cannot use a cell phone, but for my Google, I need one because it needs to work with something. And I've had Google for several years, but what happened is I kept it charged in a drawer, and a few weeks ago it exploded. Well, I don't want to say the phone exploded, but the battery popped out, and I didn't know it because the phone was still working. But when my sister opened up the drawer it was in, it exploded. Not exploded, but the battery was totally out of it. So now I'm learning that you can't just leave a cell phone charging for 2 years. And with that can comes a lot of care needs that I'm learning with it. And I'm learning how to log in, and I'm learning how to use it, many times that I need to charge it so that the Google keeps working. And Like, so I'm building a relationship with my cell phone. And because that's the thing about relationships. Relationships don't just happen. They're not just made. They have to be built. So if I was going to have this as a sermon point, my first point is relationships of any kind need to be built. Just because that person is your sister or your brother or your cousin or whatever, or your coworker, doesn't mean that automatically means a relationship. That just means a title. Titles are not automatic relationships. Like, because you're my family member doesn't mean um I have to be close to you. It means that we have the option of being close, but it doesn't mean that being close is automatic. It makes it as an easier option. And it doesn't mean that being close to that person because they have a title of a family member is wise. Depending on the person and the relationship. So the relationships need to be built. And usually relationships are built over time and through experience. See, this is the thing I didn't know when I was in my 20s. Uh, I don't mind telling you this story, it's old now. So I I met this I met this guy online through his videos. Don't worry, I wasn't catfish. This guy was real and everything. So I met this guy. I We started building a relationship. He was American. I was Canadian. I'm Canadian. He's American. So we both loved music, and I saw his videos, and I saw uh, that he was an intelligent person, and I was 27 at the time, very new. I'd I'd had one boyfriend when I was 18, but it just it just didn't work out. He was not who I thought he was. So anyway, here I was 27 years old, and I met this guy, and he was really nice. We started chatting. We talked for months and months, and little did I know that I was starting to develop romantic feelings for this guy, and I was like, okay, this is what was going on. But for me, not knowing anything, not knowing how to, relate to guys and relating to women all my life, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know whether to say, look, I'm having feelings for you or whatever. I had no idea. But I started um, dumping on him, not dumping, but I started telling him things way too fast, like personal family things. It was just uh, not a good situation for me because I had no experience with relationships. I had nobody to tell me, "Whoa, slow down! Don't tell him your personal secrets." Like, no, you guys are not at the like. If I could tell my younger self, I'd be like, "You guys are not at the place that you to be sharing that." And at the time, um, going back to my last video, I don't know if you remember that I talked about my situation with my first pastor, not my dad, but the first pastor that told me I will never preach um until I get out of this chair, that pastor. Now this re- um relationship happened right after that. So I was vulnerable. I was vulnerable. And that's looking back now, that's why I fell so quickly. Because vulner- vulnerability creates susceptibility. And susceptibility causes you to make mistakes. When I say susceptibility, I mean you're more easy to be susceptible to relational mistakes because you're in a vulnerable place and you just want somebody to understand you. You just want somebody to uh, hold you. You want somebody to be there for you. But what I didn't realize is this guy wasn't assigned to be like that for me. I I should have just taken it slow and then over time then build a relationship. I should have built a relationship before I just divulged my secrets and whatever my issues and stuff. But I didn't, and it created in me heartbreak, a mess, because he didn't know me, and because I didn't know him and where he came from. Uh, it created a mess, and it created misunderstanding, and in the end, it was created a lot of heartbreak that took me years to get through. And still sometimes I still think about that time in my life and I'm thinking, oh, what a different girl I am now. And so relationships, they're important, but you need to know the proximity and the level of relationship. And that's why, not only for romantic relationships, but for all kinds of relationships, you need God's wisdom and God's guidance. And that's why I call it the relationship rainbow. Because relationships come in all different colors. Not only types of relationships, but levels of relationships and proximity to relationships. When I think of Jesus and his relationships, he had the multitude, he had the um, the 12, and he had the three. So the multitudinal relationships are acquaintances, people you meet on a daily basis, uh, people you work with. They're people you see and people you kind of know of, but they're not close to you in your life. So, oh, and there's another level before multitude. There are just people, like you just see people. You don't really know them. You don't have anything to do with them. I don't know what to call that type of relationship. And then are the multitude. Like you know them by face, you see them, you say hello in the hall. Hello, so and so, how are you? And all that stuff. And then there are the disciples kind of relationships. These are closer people. Uh, your not quite inner circle, but they're in your circle. They may be your, you know, um, acquaintances and people that you're closer to, but you're not intimate with. Um, when I say close to, but not intimate with, like you may tell these people about your family, you may tell them general information, but they're not intimate with you. They don't have intimacy with you, like into me you see, that kind of relationship. Like you don't let them see into you. And there are the three. These are the friends uh, that you are really intimate with, the friends that know you like um really really well, like you're intimate with them, you let them see into you, you cry together, you know all kinds of personal information about each other, you trust each other, you can tell them anything, you can, you know. And generally, this group for most people, it's small. It's small. And sometimes this group is hard to form because this group of people, your intimate friends, take time to build that kind of relationship because it takes time to build trust. And I think with just uh your just with like unlike multitudinal relationships, eh, or what you could call your Facebook friends relationships, like people you see but don't really know, and people that are in your circle but you're not really intimate with. You know them by name, but that's about it. And you say hello to them in the halls, but that's about it. To to the people, you're three, and everybody needs a group of. Uh, you need all these three groups because they make life richer. And sometimes God will invite you to change relationship with people, to bring people closer to um, to let them go further out of your life because of the stage and place and uh, things that uh, the Lord is doing. And whatever the Lord is doing in relationships, let Him do it. Don't hold on to relationships that He says let go of, and don't let go of relationships that He says hold on to. Because He knows what He's doing in your life relationally, and He knows what He wants for you relationally. And also, I wanted to say too, remember that we're we're all at different relational places, and we all need something different in relationships. So, and sometimes when it comes to relationships, people people don't need to be told what to do. They don't need to be told that uh, that's a stupid thing or whatever. Sometimes all they're looking for is encouragement, like you can do this or whatever. And sometimes they're not looking for encouragement. They need to be told, get up off the couch and do it. Uh, it just depends on proximity and time. But without spending time with that person, without really knowing that person, you don't know what they need. So a relationship takes building. You can't just expect to have a relationship with a person because they're family, they're your brother or your cousin or your sister or whatever. You any relationship needs to be built. And once you build a relationship, you build trust. And when somebody grants you their trust, trust is really fragile. Trust, once broken, it's really hard to build back. So, so when someone trusts you with something, that is a that is what I call a sacred trust. And that's why I always say, when someone trusts you and tells you um, some personal issue, even if they don't say don't tell anyone else, keep that as a sacred trust. Know that the person, know that the person is trusting you because they're feeling vulnerable, or they need someone to talk to, or they need someone to share with. And they're not telling you to go share it with Facebook. Even if they have shared it with Facebook, if they want to share their business all over, let them share their business all over. It's their business to share. But in relationship with you, because they granted you a sacred trust, it is not your right or responsibility to share anything that they tell you, unless it it'll they're hurting someone or hurting themselves or about to do uh, harm to someone. Those are the times when you break the rules, because that means someone else's life. But otherwise, other than that, keep it to yourself. It's not to be shared with everyone, because once it's shared, once a sacred trust is broken, because relationships are built, it is very hard to get back. And that person may not say, I don't trust you anymore. They just won't tell you anything again. And that trust will be lost, and it's very hard to get back for most people. Um, and I think relationship building is something that is lacking um, in today's society. Real relationship building. Um, what I also wanted to talk about too is asking the right relational questions. Um, Asking questions like, "How was your day today?" Um, the person might say, "Good," and they might expand. But usually, when people say, "How are things?" they can say, "Good," or whatever. It doesn't give you. It's a non-answer. What does good mean, or whatever? No. I was talking about a way to explain this with the Lord, and He said, instead of asking, how was your day today? Create a sense of openness. Ask the question differently. And he said, I want you to tell people to play this game with their family and friends. Instead of asking, how was your day today or whatever, ask what what gave you joy today? What made you sad today? What made you angry today? What frustrated you today? What put a smile on your face today? What made you laugh today? Just say what made you and attach an emotion to it, because it'll create a sense of openness with your family, and you'll learn so much about how they process things, how they look at things. um if you say, what made you sad today? i, I could say, well, thinking about my brother. And I would go into, oh, what he was like, and the fun things we used to do together or whatever, or what I miss about them both. Much better than, how was your day today? Well, I could say good, but that doesn't tell you anything. But because, or if I were to say, um, preaching gave me joy today because I get to share what God told me about relationships. And it can open up dialogue with the person I'm talking to. See, I think we don't have enough conversations. And this way of talking will open up conversations. And sometimes we judge where people should be by where we are. But we've got to understand that relationships are a rainbow full of all different colors, all different creeds. And not everybody's going to be uh, the same where we are. So we need to stop judging people saying they should be here when they're not, because maybe that's not the way they're wired, or maybe they will get there but they're not there yet. And we need to be patient with people. We need to understand that people have different anxieties, people have different ways they operate. So we need to just be gracious with people. And I think sometimes we don't respect people's differences and we expect them to be just the same way we are. And we're like, why are you this and that and this and that? You should be doing this. It's such a stupid thing to do to believe this or whatever. When we need to understand we're all relationally different, we're all at different places, we're all at different stages, and we all react to things differently. What gives me anxiety doesn't give you anxiety. You're okay with it, and you may say, why can't you just do this? Well, I'm at a relation I'm in a different relational place and than you are, and if you're there, that's great, but I'm not there yet. And you've got to understand that people are carrying baggage, people are carrying fears, people are carrying anxieties that you don't know anything about. Even if they're your family, even if they're your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, they're carrying things that you know nothing about. And we'll just say, oh, give it to the Lord. But sometimes the Lord is working on them, and you don't see the work the Lord is doing. You just see, oh my gosh, this person is so anxious. Some and most times before your judgment and your self-righteousness, all they need is to know it's okay. You'll get there. Oh, you're afraid of this? And all they need sometimes is your support, your love, your empathy. And they need to know that they're capable. With God, all things are possible. And they're capable. And they don't need judgment because internally, most times people judge themselves so harshly. You don't you don't even know how they cuss themselves off internally. You just see the outside. 'Cause everything you're probably telling yourself, everything, sorry, everything that you are telling them is probably something that they're telling themselves. So so what they need is your encouragement, not your judgment or your you should be there, why are you doing this or whatever. They'll get there. Or maybe their assignment is not to to get there. That's why relationships take time and understanding because we all process and develop differently, and the Lord has made us all different. And that's why I called it the relationship rainbow, the rainbow of relationships, because it's all different colors, all different flavors, um, all different levels of understanding in relationship. And no level of understanding is better. No level of preaching is better. No level of this is better. It's all just different and different ways of processing information. So, guys, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye. I hope this helped. Thanks. Bye. Sorry guys, it's taking me longer today. Give me a second. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. The rainbow is really interesting when I think about it because it signifies so many things. The LGBT community uses the rainbow, and the um, and God used the rainbow as a promise to Noah that he would never send a flood on the whole earth again.